Hi guys, this is Klazart being the audio commentary, and this time I am doing the MSL round of 8. These are the MSL quarterfinals. Absolutely massive matches coming up for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. There's a lot of really high-level StarCraft being played right now, and this is part of it. This is Jaedong versus Canata on Outsider, a map that has increasingly become a fortress for Zerg players. They're just becoming so hard to beat on this map with this 12-hatch build that was initially made so famous by Savior at the time of his ascendancy. We've got Canata in yellow at the looks like the 6 o'clock position it was. I can't make out. Yeah, it is at the 6 o'clock position, and we've got Jaedong at the 9 o'clock position. This is a 3-player map. Outsider looks like Jaedong Overlord might be scouting in the correct direction to start with. To be honest, I don't think a lot of people will give Canata much of a chance versus Jaedong in a best of 5. He might be able to take a game or two off Jaedong if it isn't a 3-0 in Jaedong's favor. But the idea of Canata beating Jaedong over 5 games, I think it's going to be, he's going to have to do something really special, and if he pulls it off, I think it will be almost as momentous as when we saw Bisu take down Savior at the time when Savior was impossible for a Protoss player to beat. And looks like Canata just starting up his racks outside of his Expo. So we might be seeing what we saw with Huashin, where he decided to put some pressure early on with a couple of SCVs and Marines and bunker rush. I think it was, I cannot remember which it was, a Zerg player obviously, but he bunker rushed him. So I don't think this is necessarily going to be a bunker rush, but definitely might be seeing Canata putting some early pressure on Jaedong. And really that's what you got to do, because in a map like Outsider you can pretty much anticipate, and it looks like Jaedong has gone for a 12-hatch or 12-pool build. You can pretty much anticipate that the Zerg player is going to go for a 12-hatchery build, or at the very least a 12-pool build, because that's what's going to allow them to maximize their economy and take full advantage of this map and ramp up quickly and take those 4 gases and then just basically own you mid to late game. And the best way to do that is, and Jaedong sends a drone scout out as well, so he's going to see that Rax that's built in a slightly forward position by Canata just down his ramp, and meanwhile Canata sent his SCV around. It looks like Canata's SCV is initially going to scout the wrong direction, but he's going to know where Jaedong's base is anyway. Jaedong with his SCV out, and Jaedong has gone for what looks like a 12-hatch, guys. I don't think I've seen a spawning pool for Jaedong, and it is, yeah, definitely a 12-hatch spawning pool, definitely going down after that hatchery. So Jaedong gone for a 12-hatchery build, and Canata, if he puts a little bit of pressure on here, might be able to slow Jaedong a little bit. But the problem for Canata obviously is that he's scouted initially in the wrong direction. He's mining gas as well. He's got his refinery up, so we can see that Canata's planning to put a little bit of pressure on Jaedong early on at least. And Canata's SCV just now coming around Jaedong's base. Jaedong just trying to stop him. He's probably going to try and put that drone on that ramp, and Canata sending a couple of Marines out, as he rightly should. The problem with Outsider is that you've got these little ridges around each base where the Overlord can hide for a long time and can really see all the Terran player's troop movement. So it makes it very hard for the Terran player to kind of surprise the Zerg player. And Jaedong being forced to bring some drones out because Canata has got a couple of Marines down there, as well as an SCV right next to his natural expo. Canata putting some pressure on, and Jaedong bringing the drones out. He's got about 6 drones there, so he should be able to clean this out. One of the drones gets taken out. Canata takes one of the drones down. Second drone goes down as well. Jaedong already losing 2 drones. He should have his links popping out really. I guess he could probably afford that, and now the spawning pool is up. So Jaedong should have those 6 links out, and meanwhile Canata's putting in. He's going to need them because Canata's pulling a bunker right next to his natural expo. Normally, if you don't get that bunker up before the natural expo goes up, you can be in trouble. Jaedong loses another 2 drones. Another drone goes down. Oh my god. Jaedong, I think, manages to kill 2 of the Marines. One of the Marines still manages to get in the bunker. Jaedong now finally has his first links out, but I don't understand how he doesn't have his 6 links out yet from his main. He really needs those. Meanwhile, Canata has built a factory, and Jaedong really needs to do something here. Canata's got that bunker right next to him. The thing is, Jaedong has got those drones passive to prevent any more reinforcements coming in. Now Jaedong finally with the links out. He's got about 6 links, plus he's got some drones out there, so he should be able to take out that supply depot and defend comfortably now, and try and get that economic advantage. And although Canata has done a good amount of damage to Jaedong already, Jaedong losing I think at least 4 drones thus far, and that's a lot of damage early on for a Zerg player, although you can recoup that with a 12-hatch build, but it does nullify the advantage of the economy. And Canata now already with the Vulture out. Jaedong sees the Vulture with the links, and Jaedong needs to make sure this Vulture doesn't get in his main, because he can wreak havoc there. Jaedong is building a sunken colony, however, he's sending the links out to Canata's front to try and counter, but I think Canata's blocked his front with the racks. Jaedong now forced to bring drones. He's got no links. The Vulture's taking the links out, and Jaedong and Canata's ramp is blocked, and Canata meanwhile has taken out the 2 drones on Jaedong's ramp, and that Vulture's going to get into Jaedong's main, and Jaedong's going to be in trouble here, guys. Meanwhile, Canata repairing the supply depot at his at his choke point. Jaedong trying to morph to lair, but he really needs to take care of this Vulture, because that one Vulture with micro can be devastating inside a Zerg space. Jaedong continuing to bleed drones horribly. Meanwhile, Canata with another Vulture out, so that's going to end Jaedong's attack, and I just don't understand what Jaedong was doing there, going for Canata's base. Jaedong in huge trouble right now. That one vulture, finally Jaedong has some lings out, but that one vulture is picking them all off. Now Canata's taking that command center, and Jaedong is in a really difficult position. I don't know if he can come back from this. He's going to lose all the lings. I think he produced another 4 lings to try and deal with that vulture, but without speed upgrade, he was not able to do so. Obviously, he didn't have the gas for that, or didn't have the time to get it upgraded yet. And now a Wraith out for Canata as well. There is no way Jaedong is in any condition to deal with that Wraith. Now it looks like he's trying to put a Hydra's down, but Canata continuing to kill Jaedong's economy in his main with that vulture. At the very least, I think Jaedong should just have pulled all the drones from his main and into his National Expo, and Jaedong GG's completely destroyed by Canata in this game. I just don't understand what happened there, guys. Jaedong made so many mistakes in that game, it's ridiculous. I think that was actually very clever by Canata though, because Jaedong had seen the racks initially positioned at the bottom of the choke point, so he didn't think Canata would go for a block, and Canata very cleverly floated that racks back over and planted it as his choke in between the supply depots to effectively block a supply depot and factory, which is very rare that you see a factory supply depot barracks block. I think this is a really clever build, and I wouldn't be surprised if Boxer or UV's hand was behind it, and there is UV, the coach, and I'm sure his hand was behind this strategy by Canata that has completely captured and surprised the Zerg champion, guys.